And we're live.
Welcome to the Phil and Cory Show, where we tell the story of American small business success through the mentorship of key people. A fresh look inside business every Tuesday and Thursday at noon Central, live on Facebook. And don't forget YouTube. Search Phil and Cory Show, and don't forget to subscribe on YouTube. Today's special guest, oh my goodness, guys, are you going to learn something today? We have Ross and Jacob Hamil. Obviously, they own and operate the incredible, the fantastic, the phenomenal, that you know about them, Hamil Brothers Studios. Guys, take it away.
How's it going? I'm trying to share this on our page real quick.
Thanks, Dylan.
I don't want to
Thank you, Dylan. That was awesome.
Yeah, we're truly blessed to have Dylan as a sponsor. But you know, our other sponsor is All Flowered Up 2. If you need flowers in Lubbock, you know what to do. Call or click All Flowered Up 2. www.allfloweredup2.com. That's TOO. The link is in the description of this video. So go give them a shout at 806-993-0078 or go to their website for flowers.
And just before this podcast, I was actually texting them, getting some flowers ordered, and I was like, "Hey, you know, I'm looking to spend this much money. How much? What kind of flowers can I expect to get?" And my phone is went bring, 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 bring. They sent me like 15 different picture messages of like different stuff that was like in that price range. I was like, "Oh, okay." But
Perfect.
our other sponsor, Pecan Ridge, doesn't write when it comes to pecans. And I've also just made an order from Pecan Ridge. Get your gifts of pecan treats from Pecan Ridge this week. Pecan Ridge, West Texas tradition. Find them at pecanridge.com or give them a shout at 806-794-2022. They have some great Mother's Day specials as well.
Yeah, absolutely. And, you know, we are operating at a very low cost here, and that's why we've got some sponsors to help us out, and we're helping to promote their businesses as well. Again, Mother's Day is coming up, so hit them up. Someone that's not sponsoring us, but we wanted to get them in before Mother's Day, but they're actually bottling some wine today. Call Farmhouse Vineyards. Get them. We got them on Tuesday. We'll talk a little bit more about our guests next week. But Farmhouse Vineyards is great for Mother's Day gifts as well. They've got gifts. They've got wine. Mothers love wine. And you can buy Farmhouse's wine. They've got cool titles like Boyfriend, so the farmer's wife and things like that. So those are all good tasting wines. Go grab them. But also check out Pecan Ridge and All Flowered Up 2. So thank you to our
generous. They're out of Lubbock as well, right, Cory?
They have some vineyards out in the Brownfield area, and then but they do have presence in Lubbock. They can get you some wine. So it's very close, Brownfield, Texas. They've got their tasting room out there. But I'm sure with all the COVID-19 stuff, I believe they might be doing some deliveries, and they can always ship your wine. So anywhere in Texas, you can get wine from Farmhouse. So thank you guys for those gracious sponsorships. And then just a free shout out to those guys because they've got some great wine. And thank you to Katie Jane for coming on the show next week. So, guys, welcome, Jake and Ross. We've been cooped up for a while. I know you guys kind of do a little bit of go shooting and then go back into the house and editing and all that stuff. And I know you guys have been cooped up. So, first question is, how are you guys holding up? How are you doing?
Well, I had to stop wearing pants on my head for this.
Yeah.
That's been a solid go-to around my house. No pants.
Yeah.
Below the waist.
Yeah.
Straight on my head.
Just above the head.
Yeah.
There was a Saturday Night Live skit where they were, or something, they were wearing the pants on their, maybe it wasn't, maybe it was just those people and they had a skit show or something on comedy.
Oh,
What do you mean by those people?
Yeah,
Come on, Cory. Jeez.
So
improvisational specialists.
Yeah, I don't know.
Oh, those.
I'm not.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah. So that just reminds me of that because they were wearing like. I'm gonna have to look it up now. We're gonna have to post a link to that video.
We've already.
Yes. So
Yeah.
tell us and your audience, our audience here, what exactly is that you do? What's the story behind your business and all that good stuff?
Enrico from Blue Shape as well.
Oh yeah.
So we are Hamil Brothers Studios, Hamil Bros Studios, however you choose to pronounce that. We produce video content, mostly commercial, a lot of promotional. No, we don't do weddings.
No.
So don't even ask
No.
unless you have $1 million to
Well,
spend on your video.
I'd shoot a wedding for $1 million.
That's why I said unless. I threw that out there.
You gotta have a limit, right? You know.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. We set.
That's our
very, very
threshold, though.
high.
That's the threshold. Anything so 900,000 and below in that zone, right? 900,000, 999. You just not. That's a no go.
We might negotiate, but
Okay.
We're open to negotiations.
Oh, okay.
so, but anyway, so yeah, we do a lot of, like I said, commercial and promotional video work. We're kind of a turnkey solution. So we take things from concept through delivery. We don't often shop out or subcontract a lot of the work unless, it's something very specific like aerial video. And so, yeah, we're notorious for doing insanely stupid stuff. And if you follow us either professionally or personally on Facebook, we just expect a lot of memes.
Yeah, we're actually poor meme farmers. We don't even do video anymore. This is all we do. Is just farm the memes for the low people.
Well, that's a fantastic caveat, however you want to pronounce it, because our first kind of business topic question is let's get it out of the way first. The important stuff. Tell us about memes and how they've affected your business.
Funny enough,
there is a story here.
Yeah, we have been to Las Vegas for a large video convention. We went in 2018 and 2019, and I think it was 2019.
Was it? Did we do 2019?
Oh, we did. Yeah,
that's right.
Yeah, because this year was canceled due
Yeah.
to something I don't really know.
Yeah.
Anyway, but we went, and people we'd never even met come up. Hey, you guys, Hamil Brothers? Yeah. And we're expecting them to talk about a project, and they're like, "Dude, y'all are the guys that share the memes, right?"
So
we should cancel. We should just cancel this convention and have just a meme convention and have you guys hit it up. So
that's what we've been told. That actually, it'd probably make more money than that convention. Honestly,
Absolutely, meme convention. They probably already have a meme convention
it's like
somewhere.
Meme Con is what it would be. So that's copywritten now. Anyway,
Yeah,
trademark.
you heard it first on the Phil and Cory show.
What's interesting is that actually, memeing has kind of become part of our brand. If you follow us on Instagram and Facebook, our story is like 99% memes and then 1% stuff that we actually get paid for.
I would go further than that. It's like 99.99%.
Yeah, 0.01% of
Yeah.
what we actually do, and then memes besides that. But
It gets me laughing. I laugh and I
Right.
click the heart and get it going.
Yeah, and what's interesting about that is that it really does play to our brand because we love comedy. Almost all the short films we've done minus one have all been comedies. And then we when it comes to advertising, our brains first go to how do we make this funny? How do we make this like Super Bowl ads used to be and not depressing with people that can't walk and
a bunch
stuff
of
like that.
legless people.
Yeah, or sad robots. We like the old funny stuff like old Snickers ads, or when Tide did that series of 4 ads where they basically
David Harbour.
Yeah, it's David Harbour, and they trolled all the big brands that have advertised in Super Bowl for years. It's like you have a Clydesdale and it's sunset, it looks beautiful, and you're like, oh, it's a Budweiser ad, and David Harbour comes in, he's like, no, it's a Tide. That was one of the greatest campaigns. So for us, comedy is a big part of who we are and how we were raised too. We love comedy movies. That's what we choose most of the time. That and really crappy 80s action movies, they're also their form of comedy. So they play a huge part in what we do.
Well, that's cool. Let's talk about let's keep on the topic of memes for a second here, but what is the market strategy there? Is it just for fun or whatever? Because, I follow another page, Island Wine out of Port Aransas, and it's not even borderline alcoholic. It's memes about just completely being an alcoholic, and it's so funny. But obviously those memes are all about wine and about drinking the wine and things like that. And I know you guys post things that you like and things like that. Is there a market strategy, or is it just, hey, let's post something that we like to get the people laughing? What's kind of the business thought behind that?
Business thought is, and it has kind of evolved into this. At first, it was just sharing memes because that is interaction we get on our social media, and it's a lot of interaction, which means when we post something that we want people to actually see, it's gonna show up.
They actually get it.
But I think one of the fringe benefits, not French. We don't like the French.
No French.
No French.
No benefits for the French, guys. You heard it here first.
Exactly. One of the fringe benefits has been that I think we're more approachable, because we've done a lot of work branding ourselves as, for lack of a better term, the upper echelon of production. Especially when it comes to West Texas, because I think we deliver at a level that nobody else does here, and that has made us unapproachable.
Yeah.
Because people think that because we deliver the level of quality that we do, and we put the amount of work that we do in, that we're unaffordable. And at some point, I'm pretty sure we may come off as pretentious, which I hope we don't, but the memes kind of help curb that. And just a couple of goofballs who happen to be pretty good at what we do.
I think you guys are really good at what you do, and I do think that does that makes a lot of sense. You want to be that high echelon, but you also want to be that, have that approachability and say, guess what, guys, you can text us on Instagram, and share some memes with us, please, and so we can share it out to our crowd. If you think we might think this is funny, at least it gets you kind of talking to your potential new clients, or even somebody that might share your name or share your post or something like that. And so that's a really cool kind of take on things. Bring that approachability factor in there.
Yeah, and it really gives you an idea of who we are. And we've had lunch 8 billion times, I feel like, and they're always long because we always enjoy talking to you. But it's what you get on Facebook is who we are. You're not we don't show up and we're like, in monocles. Actually, we probably should show up in monocles at some point,
and fancy mustaches,
and those Dumb and Dumber tuxes. But what we put out there is who we are, and you're gonna get that when you're on set with us and when you have lunch with us. And we're sitting there and we're talking, we're oh, dude, look at this meme. The toughest thing about COVID is we haven't been able to be in the same room together, because he's at home helping his kids do school. I'm at home Googling different chest hairstyles. And it's we can't sit in the same room and be oh, dude, the way it happens all the time, or did, and it will again, is one of us starts snickering and he's no. And it's no, you have to show me now. You can't not show me. Then you show the memes, and then it's oh, I did not need to see that. But at least I asked for it. But it's been tough not being in the same room. I mean, we have probably 12 meme groups, private message groups on Facebook, at least that, maybe more, upwards of 20. Which is, you're in one of them.
I'm not involved in any way, shape, or form.
No, not one with Cory.
I didn't send you guys stuff at 3 a.m. morning.
No, never.
Not at all.
But that's one of those things that, we just love to laugh. That's been our thing. We like making other people laugh. When it comes to advertising, we're okay, let's do this funny. We love slapstick comedy, Mel Brooks and Leslie Nielsen and Airplane.
Surely you can't be serious.
Yeah,
we are serious, and
don't call us sure.
Yeah, just don't even. We can't use the same airplane joke.
Yeah, we actually ripped that off of in one of our films. We ripped off Airplane.
Curse of the Werewolf.
Yeah, but except that we said Of course I'm serious, and we can't use 2 airplane jokes in a row.
Yeah, I remember.
That out. So, anyways, so yeah, that like it's just part of our brand and who we are and what we do. And
In the words of Van Wild,
oh gosh,
you know,
that makes me
don't
nervous.
take life too seriously because you never make it out alive.
Oh, that's actually a good.
Oh yeah,
I was scared
Write
there
that
for a
down.
second.
Yeah. That was a great movie. So, when I think about like content, like as far as like commercial content, like commercials, the ones I find are most memorable. Like I remember watching the "Was Up" commercial that Budweiser put out during the Super Bowl. Do you think that, like, on a lot of the stuff you're doing on social media, do you think that comedy and that emotional response people get with comedy, laughing, do you think that makes them remember it and kind of keep that picture in their mind of whatever in the world you're trying to sell better?
Yes and no. Yes, to the degree that if comedy's executed well and people enjoy it, they're going to remember it. But at the same time, we've all seen the ads that it's like, man, that was funny. But what was it?
What was this about?
When it's not related to the actual product.
Even if it is, if they don't do a good enough job of branding themselves within that ad. We did one last year that was completely, it was about the ad itself was 5 minutes long, and the extra 2 minutes were a complete waste of time.
But they were so fun.
But it was all about digital marketing. And I think everybody we showed it to loved it. And Cory, I think you saw it at the Business Expo. It was
Yep.
And like, was there any question by the end of that what that ad was about?
Not about not about what the product was, and it was a really good, well put together kind of pathway through what was going on.
Right.
But it also had the mixture of interesting things in there. So it was kind of a good mix of both things, because it was both informational and funny and kept your eye engaged, right?
Right. So to answer your question, like I said, yes and no. Comedy, I think, is great. Let me rephrase that. Comedy that's executed well is great, but you can't sacrifice what you're trying to sell just to try to be funny.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it's just a funny video that's ultimately pointless.
Yeah. And to that note, there's a lot of those that it's like, that was funny. I cannot remember who that was for. I have no idea. And I obviously can't think of any right now, because the ones I can think about, I know exactly what brand they were for, who produced them, why they were funny like they were. And
I think, like, for me right now, Liberty Mutual is kind of teetering on the edge. They have some of their ads that they're hilarious.
Yeah.
But like, if they didn't have their jingle at the end, it's like that really didn't mean anything. The one that comes to mind is the caricature lady who's drawing a caricature of the guy doing her. And like, I remember, like, first few times
I don't see it.
What does this have to do with anything?
Right.
And then at the end they sing their, it's like, yeah, okay, it was a funny ad, but that didn't speak, that doesn't make me want to use them for insurance.
Right. Yeah. That there's
I think you're
So,
right.
I guess like the Budweiser frogs, like it's a funny comedy, but it makes sense because they're saying Budweiser, like, right?
Yeah.
Like you got to tie it to the
doesn't
brand.
be quite
Like
so
doing like a 20-second comedy sketch and then doing 5 seconds of like your branding at the very end of it. That doesn't really make sense, right?
I don't think it does. And of course, like when it comes to a company like Liberty Mutual, there is somebody working on their account who has an infinitely vast amount of knowledge, more than we do as far as marketing goes, that thinks it's a good idea for some reason. And like the fact that I do know that that's a Liberty Mutual ad is not a bad thing. But like I said, I think that kind of teeters on the edge of being irrelevant. And who I think does an excellent job of making funny relevant is the Harmon Brothers. They did Squatty Potty, Fiber Fixed,
Bed Jet, Purple Mattress.
They've got a ton. I mean, they've got a huge roster of clientele, and they use comedy for every single one of their ads.
Yeah.
And it doesn't matter how long they are.
Well, I think, yeah, and they're again a great, mixture of comedy and informational, right? So,
Right.
the purple mattress, they're doing the egg crushing thing. It's like this is this soft or whatever, but they're also, what is did they were they Goldilocks? Did they do the Goldilocks on that one?
That was
So yeah, it's funny. It's got kind of a weird character in it. Same with Wonder Tree. We had Riker on, and Riker's joined us, and he's given shout outs to you guys. We got a couple people joining us. Riker Taylor's online, Don Rogers, Terry Hamler. But your character with the robe and the English accent or whatever, or the British accent, trying to put those characters in there, give a little bit of character to the video, and then do the informational. I think that's a good kind of format.
Right.
Yeah.
And what we actually nicknamed that, I'm surprised Harmon Brothers hadn't done it. So we did. We call it a brand commercial. So it's really Harmon Brothers who created it, or at least they coined it. But basically they were like, okay, and we'll talk about this later. They have a book called From Poop to Gold, which is their story from they did Squatty Potty, and then it like their agency blew up.
Yeah, and it goes back to before that with
Yeah,
and
yeah.
how they discovered it.
So basically it talks about their discovery of this like style of advertising. They had one of the cousins, it's not one of the CEO guys, but one of the cousins is really the originator behind the idea. And he was like, we just did this 3-minute ad for this brush that you use on your tongue to get rid of bad breath. But they made it funny. But it was also informational. And they were like, why can't we mix infomercial and like narrative storytelling in the same thing? And, Daniel Harmon worked for an agency in Chicago, and his cousin sent him this video, and he was like, yeah, it's good, but man, it's like 3 minutes. And he's like, yeah, did you watch it all? He was like, I actually did watch it all. So there's something to be said. And then they started.
I do. I watch all of those because I'm like, what's going to happen next?
Right,
Even
exactly.
If they didn't produce it, that format keeps the audience engaged. I don't know if the Sasquatch soap or whatever, like that one's pretty good.
Yeah. Dr. Squatch is not Harmon Brothers, but it's came out the same time, and it was
the same. Yeah,
love it.
I may not have a subscription.
He looks like a Sasquatch, so
I like the soap.
Yeah, I think that's very important to kind of get that branding out there and try to follow, try to have your kind of your brand and how you guys do things. And I guess with you guys being so highly specialized, and we've talked about this before, but maybe you can share with our audience today, with your brand and your highly specialized kind of video production, because you guys aren't videographers. You say you're videographers and then shoot a video with this thing. You guys use some really high-end equipment and some good lighting, and you make sure that your production is going to reflect back on your brand, right? Because if you do a great job for your clients, then you can also say, this is what we do for our clients. If you do kind of a, half-assed job for your client, you really can't say, hey, look what we did and brag on it, because it kind of looks, you didn't use good lighting and things like that.
that's a family thing.
And there's a story behind that, actually. Back in 2016, we were shooting an event for Glenn Robertson's congressional campaign, and Coach Bob Knight was the keynote. He came up to us afterwards and said, I've heard some things about you guys from Glenn. He said, you guys don't half-ass anything. I guess that just makes y'all a couple of whole asses. And so that's a reputation. That's a reputation we have to live up to.
Yeah. And that's kind of a family thing. That's been ingrained in us our whole lives. It's like the saying in our family, but we say Hamil is Latin for overkill. And like, yes, it is. And we'll go way beyond, but also like when it comes to our business, like our names are on that. It's not like video production studio that's not related to us. It is literally Hamil Bros Studios. So like our name is tied to it, and we want it to reflect, well on who we are and like our family too, because they have the same name, unfortunately.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's one of those things that it kind of bleeds into everything we do: music, uh, production, just getting together and doing family things. Like we can't ever just underdo it. We have to way overdo it.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's worked out well for us so far, and it's gotten us huge clients. I mean, we've done work for Shell and Pennzoil. We've done work for Facebook proper, Occidental Petroleum.
We've gone to the Oculus Developers Conference
Twice.
And I'm sure that'll be repeat once all this stuff clears up. And we are there on working for, we're subcontracted, but we're there on Oculus's behalf.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yes, that's correct.
Yes.
I'm tired, so that didn't sound right, but
It's right.
but yeah. So, we're, a couple of West Texas nerds who are actually working companies that, a lot of your listeners or viewers are familiar with.
Yeah. Well, that's a great question for our viewers. How do you sell value to those clients, those high-end clients? How do you get in? One, how do you get in with them? And then two, how do you get them to buy what you're selling? Because obviously it is high quality, and it's going to be more expensive than the low quality stuff, right? So
Right.
how do you what advice would you give for someone that is selling a specialized service that wants to get into these higher ticket clients?
That's a great segue into another book recommendation, Building a Story Brand. I think helped us a lot in that, specifically because I read through the book, listened through the book. I don't like to read. I
Neither of us
absorb
do.
better when I do audio.
It's not that he doesn't like to, it's that he can't.
Can't. Yep. Both of us.
I'm trying to figure out what it says behind Cory this whole time. So thanks for pointing that out.
It's reversed on my screen, so I think it's good on the live, but
Anyway, so after going through that book, there's a template he has for just the front page of your website, and I went through and kind of gutted the front page and redid it. And we get a lot of jobs if people just email us through the website, and they say, y'all weren't the first video company we looked at, but y'all are the first one that your website looks like it was done this century.
yeah.
I know what you guys do, and it wasn't hard to get in contact with you.
Yeah.
So just let me pinpoint that right there and hook on that, and then we'll move on. But so your website matters. So if a client comes to your website and it's not good, they won't buy your services. Is that what you're saying? Okay, we can move on.
Be saying that, but yes, I'm saying that.
Yeah. And we've had, I mean, very honestly, we've had productions actually we did a shoot, which this kind of leads into this too, that Phillips 66 did here back in December.
Yeah, it was the week. It was between. Well, it was before Christmas, but we shot between Christmas and New Year.
Yeah. So it was, and that was really, so to be completely transparent, Phillips 66 doesn't call us and say, hey, we want you to do this. And Facebook doesn't call us and say, hey, we want you to do this. And Pennzoil. So the relationships that we have and that we've created in this industry are why we get those jobs. Because for one instance, the production who does all the stuff with Facebook that we work for, they subcontract us for the Oculus stuff. And then back in December, I was doing a bunch of graphics for a project they were doing for Facebook. So they're not direct clients of ours, but we're doing the work that these other productions see. And they're like, hey, we know you specialize in motion graphics, or that you can do this. We know that you have a good pricing structure. And so we're not actually having to sell to those. Now, Pennzoil, we kind of did because we were working for their influencers. And they were in control of the budget and how we were doing things. But it was that specific Pennzoil thing was friends that we made here back in 2014. And then here comes 2017, and they're like, hey, we're now in charge of Pennzoil's stage at SEMA, which is the second largest footprint at SEMA, which for all of you who don't know, is a Specialty Equipment Manufacturers Association, or better known as the biggest car show in the entire world.
Yeah.
Happens
It's
in
the
Vegas.
second biggest convention that happens.
And you guys got to go? You
Yeah, we've
guys
been
actually-
twice.
Oh man, I'm so jealous. I'm a huge car guy.
Well, you might be jealous that we went. You would not be jealous of what we had to do while we were
Yeah,
there because it's grueling.
It
Oh, so
was.
you guys were not there to go kick tires and have fun and ooh and ah. You guys were there to
we
actually
were
work.
producing daily content for Shell and Pennzoil.
Yeah.
First year we were shooting and delivering 30 minutes of content every day
And these are
Oh,
super
geez.
cut.
And you had to edit on top of shoot, I'm guessing.
with
Right.
a 3-man crew. The second year we went down like 15 to 20 minutes with a 4-person crew,
Mhm.
but we're talking like 18 to 23-hour days.
Yeah. So it's
7 days in a row.
Earning your money then.
Yeah. Oh yeah, we did. And it was cool. I mean, like you get to see so many cool things at SEMA. It's like, I love it because I remember being a kid and thinking Lamborghinis are cool. Lamborghinis are like a dime a dozen at SEMA. It's like, oh, there's like 15 of them behind our booth. That's cool. But like our last year at SEMA, we had Steve McQueen's Bullet car. They unveiled it again because they had just found it, and the Historical Vehicle Association had it in our booth. We also, the year before that, they unveiled John Hennessy's Venom F5. If these people drive for Pennzoil or one of the Shell brands, which is Pennzoil, Quaker State, Shell Rotella, any of those, Jiffy Lube, if they drive or sponsored by or in any form or fashion, they're there.
If they have a sticker or a patch from any one of those companies.
Yeah. So like we
Wow.
had Logano who won the Indy 500. It's just crazy. And it's funny because neither of us are really car people. So we're talking to these people like they're regular everyday Joes. And a lot of them actually appreciate it for the most part. I mean, I'm not like tacky or rude, but it's just like, I'm not like, oh my gosh, I can't even like shaking. I'm just like, hey,
Can I have your
cool.
autograph, please?
Yeah.
First eye opener for me with them on exactly how big they are was I was at Walmart, and Walmart pushes Pennzoil.
Yeah, they do.
And I was back in the automotive, maybe just checking out because there weren't a bunch of people, but there was an entire display, and there was Joey Logano and Leah Pritchett like on these displays and with their faces on the Pennzoil bottles. And I was like, oh, I guess they kind of are a big deal.
We've met them. Yeah.
So
So back to your question, because I know we kind of rabbit holed there, because Philip did it. I'm making him.
Sorry.
But with those, it's about the relationships you create, and even here in Lubbock, for the people that are watching this that are just here in Lubbock that are like, oh, cool, I'm gonna learn cool Lubbock stuff. Lubbock has those relationships, and you have to be mindful that you don't know who you know. But just like, for instance, Scoggin Dickey Parts Center is the biggest engine distribution in the United States.
Yep.
It's here in
Absolutely.
Lubbock. Nobody knows it, but everybody at SEMA knows who they are, and they're a huge deal out there.
Yep.
Stephen Joseph is another one here. They do like kids' toys and backpacks and print shirts and stuff like that. And you're like, oh, that's cool. Like, they're over behind Sam's. Nobody really knows that they're here, but they have a distribution in Germany and one in Japan.
Yep.
And they're doing T-shirt prints for like the Titanic Museum or the San Diego Zoo. So it's, be aware of who's around you.
And that goes for any town, not just Lubbock. You know,
Yeah,
there's
not just
little gyms everywhere.
Right. Well, like some of the McConaughey's live in Midland. They have I think they have a show out there. I don't remember. But like, people are everywhere, and just be cool with them. And it's surprising. Like, we're very good friends. One of our very good friends is Aaron Hagar. He's Sammy Hagar's son. And when I say we're very good friends, I can call him right now if I want to.
Let's do it. Let's get him on the show.
Yeah,
No.
I wish. I don't know. Depending, he may be COVIDed up too, so he may have more time. But like, there was a point where, I mean, that was more of a fangirl moment for me than most things, because it's actually music, and I know he is. We got to hear him sing.
Phil and I played a little guitar yesterday.
Yeah, we sure did.
Right.
Well, you played most of the guitar. I just kind of like, strummed and played the 3 chords I know. But yeah.
There you go.
But I guess that counts, right?
I haven't picked one up in a while, so that was fun.
Yeah, but those kind of relationships you just make, and a lot of those people are used to people fanboying and fangirling over them, and like, that gets old. If you just talk to them like they're regular humans, they're really cool. And
Because they are.
Yeah, because they are. And even though they've got this status, we've had just the relationships we've created over the years with people who work on like massive movies. Like a very good friend of mine a friend of ours just got picked up as a visual effects supervisor on Loki for Disney Plus.
Very cool.
And like we met her in a Facebook group, and at that point she really wasn't. She was working for the people who had created that group in their organization, and she wasn't like a big deal or anything. She was just kind of like organizing for them and producing for them and stuff like that. And then like I just kept up with her on Facebook, and we send memes to each other. And then like she bought a hat from us not long ago and some other stuff. And then like she'll be like, "Oh hey, I was just sitting next to Ridley Scott and blah blah blah. I'm supervising for this show." And like it's just
Relationships are key.
they're key.
And the other ingredient to that is for us, I feel like we try to set the bar really high and then exceed expectations.
Yeah.
And that is hard.
Yeah.
There's nothing easy about that, but
It gets attention.
it gets
does,
attention. And if you're doing the same thing everybody else is doing, then you're just making noise, and that doesn't make you special.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And our mom has told us we are special our entire lives. So
Well, it's mainly because Jacob had to wear a helmet when he was younger, but
Yeah.
well, I made him take it off because he still wears it
I
sometimes.
do.
that
he
hat is a
also-
protective hat. Is it a
Yeah.
protective hat?
Yeah, it keeps my brain in. She also says we never grew up, we just got older.
Yeah.
That's also the
That
truth.
is very
I think just going back the couple of years I've known you guys, I think that's very true, and that's one of the things that connects us. I think is because we're in the same kind of boat. Yeah, I've got this professional consulting thing, and I've got this expertise, but I'm just a kid at heart too, and so I think that's one of the reasons we get along quite well, because we kind of got the nerdy side and kind of got the funny comedy side, and so we like to share that.
Yeah.
And I feel like that helps us with a lot of our clients is that we take our work very seriously, but we're not so serious that we're hard to get along with.
Yeah.
Mm,
And
that's important.
especially in like a lot of the shoots we do, they get very high stress very quickly because there is a lot of money on the lines for our clients. And the fact that we can diffuse situations, we get the job done,
Mhm.
but we're not, everybody's not sweating bullets over it, I think helps a lot.
Yeah.
So I've got a question. I'm like a little bit of a hobbyist photographer. I know enough to know that equipment is excruciatingly expensive. I know that lenses can cost more than some cars and stuff. So especially like in your business, if let's say you've got 30 grand to burn on some new equipment, or whatever the price may be, and you're saying, okay, we're ready to buy some more equipment, we got some cash in the bank. How in the world do you figure out like, okay, let's go buy this lens, or hey, let's go buy this camera, or oh, hey, let's go get this new machine that'll render our videos faster? Like, how do you make those determinations?
That is
That's a continual conversation all the time.
determined on a week by week basis.
Yeah.
Now, basically the hierarchy goes, what do we need now versus, what do we need to function? Then what helps us function more efficiently?
Yeah.
And then what just helps us be lazier? And so like right now, we've got to scrape some money together for new computers
Mhm.
because my desktop happened to die right before COVID. And that was our powerhouse machine.
Mhm.
And now I'm doing everything off.
I know an IT guy. Just saying.
Yeah. What we need. That's another rabbit hole.
Let's talk. Let's talk
But
after the
so
show.
so
about
I guess
that.
I guess what you're saying is you kind of you take the equipment and you say like, hey, what could we offer more services with? Like, what could we, if we get this, we don't have a drone, we could take a drone and we could get these shots that we couldn't get, that we don't have like a crane or anything. So like this drone could give us that. And then you sit there and say like, hey, it'd be nice to have like a massive 6 GPU render machine. But at the same time, we don't run in many jobs where we're sitting there going, "Oh God, if this thing could render 30 minutes faster, we'd be so better off." Right? Is that kind of what you're saying?
Yeah, to a degree. Like I said, it really kind of depends on what our needs are at the moment.
Yeah.
Right now, we have everything we need to function. It's just it's just a matter of function speed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we're currently working on a science fiction short film, and I'm rendering out shots that are it's a we have a main character. She's stuck in a life pod out in space. He's designed all of the on-screen heads-up display elements, and I'm mashing those into the screen on this comms console that she has. And your stuff's taken, what'd you say, like 15, 20 minutes to render?
For yeah, it's probably for like 30 seconds. It takes about 20
Wow.
minutes.
Yeah. So that's like, that sounds painful until I get it on my machine. And what I'm having to do is you can tell when you're watching a commercial and they've laid, that somebody's on an iPad, and it's clear that they just slapped an image on that iPad
Yeah.
to look real. It's not composited properly. And what my job is to composite that to where when you look at it, you're going,
That's really
that
there.
was on that had to be on set. There's no way. And those renders are taking me roughly
Bless you.
anywhere from 45 minutes to 2 hours to render a 4-second shot.
Yeah.
And so right now having a newer computer would actually greatly benefit us. And that's something that, yes, we're going to use that all the time. It's not just, we get that and we use it once or twice a year.
Right. It's one of those things that time-wise will increase profit margins, because for the time that we charge or the budgets that we get and however that works, we're actually getting more done in the time allotted. So it allows us to either do other things for the client or it's
Increase
profited.
our value.
Yeah, it increases our value.
Yeah.
With that, other gear purchases, like currently one of the things that's really big, and it's a trend that's amazing, is affordable, really color accurate LED lighting, like super color accurate. And we're friends with a company in LA called Aperture. They've been working on this for years, and their biggest thing is, okay, let's make these lights where they're super, like they're using them on Netflix shows and big budget feature films, but they're also affordable. And I mean, affordability is relative, but like they have it'll probably announce next week. They have, it's just a big panel LED. I don't remember how big it is. It's like probably 20 inches across or 25 inches, maybe it's 30. Anyways, Ari is a very big lighting company. They do cameras. Like their camera bodies, like an Ari Alexa, is like $80,000.
Yeah,
So,
I've heard of those. Yeah.
Yeah. So Ari also makes lighting. I think they actually got famous doing lighting before they were doing cameras, but I'm not sure. But they have what's called a Sky Panel. Their Sky Panel S30 is like, it's really cool. It does all the colors in the color spectrum, plus all these different gel combos and stuff like that. And like, it's a really versatile light. It's like $6,000 for the not even big ones.
And they're not that color accurate.
And they're not super color accurate.
Yeah, we had one and we had to tweak it.
Yeah.
Just to make it look right. And for what it costs, it shouldn't be that hard to operate.
So that being said, the Aperture equivalent of that is going to be better. It's much more affordable. We're talking about like, I think, and they don't ever say prices until they're ready to announce release, but around $1,800 for their panel. That's going to have more effects, more color, better color rendition. I mean, so for us right now, like a big thing is LED lights don't get near as hot as your traditional tungsten fixture filament bulbs. So those running at 1,000 watts, you can imagine, get really toasty. And in like a studio setting where it's already hot and people are already sweating just because they're nervous, adding that additional heat is unbelievable. So one of the things we've been working on is moving from those traditional light sources to LED technology, because it's now where you can't really tell the difference. I mean, like one of us could tell the difference, or the guy who's been a director of photography for 40 years can tell the difference between tungsten and LED. But they're fast, they're efficient, they're power efficient. You get more output out of them.
They're more portable.
Yeah, a
which is
lot more
big
portable.
Yeah,
deal
I'm
because-
guessing if they get LEDs can get banged around. If you have like I don't know, but I used to do theatrical lighting a little bit. I know, like,
Right.
you don't want to throw
So-
some Source 4s in the bed of your truck and drive off, right?
Right. And we actually shoot with Source 4s because you can blade them. But now, like, Aperture just came out with their spotlight mount, which is basically a Source 4. But, this probably is not really ever mattered to you in theatrical lighting, but on an ellipsoidal, like a Source 4, you have around the edge what's called chromatic aberration. And basically, instead of it being that white or that warm, white, soft spot in the middle at the edges, it starts having this color
Yeah, just
print.
because of the way the lens is curved extremely
Right.
at that very edge, right?
Right.
Right.
So what's cool about this Aperture Spotlight is that they've done it with an LED chip nonetheless, but their optics don't have any chromatic aberration. They don't have that color fringing on the edges. And so that's a really, really big deal. And they've worked really hard on it. And like that spotlight mount is like $500, which
Yeah.
in the grand
So-
scope of things is nothing.
Yeah, just prioritizing, what you can't afford and what is actually going to. It's almost a waste of money to spend $6,000 on something when you can get something better for.
Yeah, I guess.
but that's not
I guess
out
the
yet,
biggest
right?
thing is when you're working with something inside your business that is obviously, because I know, like, photography, you could buy a vehicle with a boom strap to it. You'd always want more gear. And so I guess the best thing to do is educate yourself on everything that the marketplace has to offer. And that's really the best way to deal with that problem.
Yep. That's
So
exactly right.
I know, Cory, we want to go ahead and start talking about books. And
Yes.
podcasts.
Yeah, let's talk about some books. In fact, one of the books you guys wanted to talk about for business owners was the Total Money Makeover, Dave Ramsey. So while we're kind of talking about lighting and equipment purchases and things like that, how has Total Money Makeover influenced you two and your decision-making processes and how you run your business?
So the biggest one is operating as debt free as we can.
There it
Hey, look at
is.
you.
I saw that on your desk yesterday.
We actually have met Dave Ramsey. We met him back in 2013.
Really?
It wasn't for a job. We just were driving through. We were on the big Griswold family vacation.
Yeah, we
and,
went through Brentwood and got to watch his show for an hour.
Yeah.
Sorry, folks, park's closed. Moose out front should have told you.
Yeah.
Oh.
So Harold Ramis was actually the voice of the moose.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, fun little factoid for
Yeah.
you there.
that is a fun factoid.
But anyway, so like the nice thing has been operating very, very close to debt free
Mhm.
is we haven't, had we had a bunch of loans out on equipment, as soon as this COVID hit, we would have been sunk.
Oh yeah,
And that's just looking at where we are now. We have in the past 5 years, we've had periods where we're going months without work
Mhm.
just because the business is still relatively young.
Mhm.
Mhm.
And I think last year was the first year that we had consistent business almost all year long. And those patches where nothing's coming in, at the very least, I don't have to worry about somebody coming in and taking my equipment because
taking your money makers.
Right.
I can't afford it. And so, I mean, it doesn't go without stress, but it definitely removes a lot of extra stress that's unnecessary.
Yeah. And yeah, we've operated debt free for the most part. I think we've taken out 2 loans ever. One was a loan from our grandma. So there was no like actual attachment. There was no anything like that.
No
She
debt
gave us
collector calls.
$1,000. Right. She gave us $1,000
The
and
debt collector calls were you calling her to see how she was doing.
right. So she gave us $1,000 so we could buy a trailer because we were just out of room. We couldn't fit it all in the back of Ross's minivan anymore. So that was like one. And like I tell you, I don't care about debt collector calls. The worst thing is, have you thought about that loan anymore? And she was never pushy about it, but that makes you feel way worse. So we got to pay it off. You're done.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
It was way worse. Debt collectors, I can be mean to them. I can't be mean
Yeah.
to them.
I mean, you
So,
could be.
I
but
could.
It wouldn't work
no,
out. well.
she would beat me up. And then the second one is actually interesting. We got to a point where we were not. We had to upgrade computers. This is like now. This is in March. And like, I didn't want it to happen on the business. I was sitting pretty flush financial wise. And I was like, you know what? I think I'm just going to bite the bullet, get into a better laptop. So I bought the top of the line MacBook Pro, which I've wanted for a long time. We've been looking at them, done all the research, knew it was going to be a good investment. It has been, but I took out like a $5,000 loan for a $4,500 laptop. So I could have that $500 cushion of here's money to pay on it if something goes bad. So like I was smart about it. I kept my payments super low. And then COVID hit literally the week that it came in. And it was like,
well, we were joking about the computer having a virus when it got here because it was shipping from Shanghai.
Yeah. So yes, that's where, that's
there you go.
So like
we definitely got some comments here. Reed says he would beat you up too if you were mean to Mima.
That's right. He would.
And then Scott Balcom says ask Ross how he won a prize in the bathroom at NAB.
So that's a misnomer of the story.
It is, but it's still a good
Scott
story.
likes to tell it like I'm a little Russian girl who begs for handouts.
A poor
little
orphan Russian girl.
Now, the first year we went to that big Vegas convention,
NAB,
I broke my foot the day we landed. Just stress fractured it walking.
To an In-N-Out. That's why I don't like In-N-Out. Whataburger's better.
And one of the big video monitor companies, they did daily giveaways. And
they have to give away like $250,000 worth of monitors.
Yeah, something like that. But they the big prize that day was a 19-inch monitor that you can run 4 cameras into and actually live switch.
Mm-hmm.
And we didn't realize they were giving multiple monitors away a day. So I hobble up there. I think at that point I was walking with a cane.
Yeah, I think we found you
just because I didn't want to pay the Vegas Convention Center $300 for a motorized scooter for 30 minutes. And so they call out the number for the first small monitor they were giving away, and my number didn't get called. So I'm hobbling. So I started hobbling back to the booth where we had been spending most of our time, and all of a sudden I hear them calling out numbers for this big monitor, and my number gets called. And if you didn't respond immediately, they moved on to a new number.
Yeah, they're not playing games.
You better be like, here.
Right. And I was far enough away.
Get your Dylan Moore on.
Yeah. I couldn't claim it.
Starts hobbling.
So last year we got invited to 3 or 4 different parties by some of the big equipment companies there. Mm-hmm. And the CEO who gives away all these monitors was at this party. And I was like, hey, I just want to tell you, we have one of your monitors. We love it. Actually, at that point, we had 2 of your monitors. And we really love it. But funny story, last year, my number was called for the first Sumo, which that's what these monitors are called. My number was called for the first Sumo, but I've broken my foot and I couldn't claim it. And so he's
Australian.
Very Australian. He's like, where are you from? Oh, we're from Texas. Oh, well, I feel like I believe you because, if you're from Texas and you're lying about this, if you lie in Texas, you get shot in the street. And I'm like, yeah, not really, but okay.
That's how lying works.
You're like, absolutely, that's right, yeah.
That's like some Middle East stuff.
Right. And so he's like, well,
chop your hand off.
Come by the booth tomorrow. Here's my assistant's card, and we'll hook you up with one of those monitors.
Scott says he tells the story way better.
Yeah, well, that's because Scott makes Ross sound like a poor little Russian orphan girl.
Yeah, Scott thinks he's a good storyteller.
We're just gonna need Scott on the show.
Yeah,
we can get a hold of him
at some point.
All right.
Anyway, so the next day, and this is where the story kind of got off topic. The CEO tells the story from like his platform to 15 feet above everybody, and the way he told it is that I was in the bathroom and couldn't claim it. And I'm like, well, if I was in the bathroom and missed my shot, who cares? You snooze, you lose.
Yeah.
My foot was broken. But anyway, so that's how I won a $2,000 monitor, or actually was given a $2,000 monitor.
Yeah.
Well, fantastic.
Yeah.
So yes, that's that story. And what's funny is we tell people all the time, we don't shake the trees from the bottom, we go to the top. And we know so many CEOs of like gear companies, especially now, or their higher ups that are like, you know, in charge of all American distribution. You know, they, those are the people that we're friends with. It's not the like lower end. I don't know how it happens, but it does.
Yeah,
Okay,
you just meet
so-
people.
So,
But yeah,
my-
so we got lots of books that you guys had from Poop to Gold, Creativity Inc. We didn't really get to talk about that too much. Everyday Millionaires and Total Money Makeover, and then Building a Story Brand by Donald Miller. We've got all of those links in the description for our show here. If you guys want to talk about those books with the Hamil Brothers, they're very approachable. Reach out to them. We've also got the link to their website. Tell us a couple more places where we can find you.
So we're on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. I think both Instagram and Twitter are both at Hamil Bros. And then I don't know what our Facebook link is, but you can just look up Hamil Bros Studios.
I think it may be /Hamil Bros. But yeah, if you look us, search for us,
You can find us.
not
Yeah.
hard to find.
Yeah.
Well, fantastic.
Wow, guys. I mean, I know I keep saying it, but you guys keep blowing me away. Another fantastic episode. If y'all didn't come out with some golden nuggets of wisdom, then maybe you shouldn't be in business, because those guys just dropped some bombs right there. Hey, next Tuesday, another fantastic one for you. I got Katie Jane Seaton with The Farmhouse Vineyards. But guys, I'm not waiting. Can you guys see this? Yeah, my ramble on. One of the best. It's one of the best. But she'll tell you about it all on Tuesday. You got to be there for that one. And on Thursday, another episode, guys, because we got Matthew C. Groves, the founder of Expert Tech. And if you have not listened to him yet, wow, he has got so many tips and tricks to make your business grow and succeed. It's going to be absolutely phenomenal. But hey, are you tired of your technology keeping you away from the parts of the business that you love? I know I am. Let Rob Technology Group take care of your business's tech so that you have both the tools and time to focus on you and your business. From support to virtualization to networking, the veteran-owned and operated Rob Technology Group enables the success of your business with custom-made solutions, guys, that actually work. Call Phil right now. Do it right now. Don't wait. Stop waiting. Do it right now. Call Phil.
You want to hear your phone call.
4380. Stop working for your business technology, guys. Have it start working for you. That's why it's there for. And y'all know my man, Cory. Whoop, whoop. Since 2016, Lubbock Consulting. They've helped shape the way businesses approach by providing solutions that help their clients become more efficient, more accountable, and more profitable. If your business is struggling to grow, struggling to keep up with growth, or just can't seem to get that overhead down, it's time to give Cory a ring. Email him at Cory@LubbockConsulting.com. If you're ready to level up your business, boop, there's the guy to do it. I am so excited to see y'all's next show. Hamil Brothers. Wow. Oh my goodness. I think this is a top 5, top 3, top 2 episode right here.
This is the number one, Dylan. This is the top one.
I'm
we
done.
get better every time. We have better guests every time. Thank you guys. Thank you, Jacob, and thank you, Ross, for joining us today.
Yeah, it was a great episode. It was our pleasure. Thanks again, guys.